Stan Lee. I'm just sitting at my desk in a room that's only half finished. Now that's over with, I wanted to talk about Stan Lee. 95 years old and pretty well a genius. And I say a genius because he was a leader. In my mind, he was a leader. He was creative himself, but he had a dream to tell stories to entertain people, and he got other creative minds to join his team. And one of my favorite quotes. I was going over stuff today because Spider-Man was one of the first comic books that I read, and that's exactly how I learned to read. So I owe Stan Lee a lot because everything after that is what followed. But a quote that I read today that got me thinking too. And it goes as, I used to be embarrassed because I was just a comic book writer, while other people were building bridges or going into medical careers. And then I began to realize entertainment is one of the most important things in people's lives. Without it, you might as well go off the deep end. I feel that if I am able to entertain people, sorry, I feel that if you are able to entertain people, you are doing a good thing. And Stan Lee, these are his words. Stan Lee did an excellent thing. 95 years old. I was hoping he would make it to triple digits. We all want to hit that. But yeah, he's my last idol. There's been a few growing up, and he is the last one. I read his quote, and I got to thinking too. You got to be doing something you love. Otherwise, there's there's no point. Or doing something to achieve your dreams. There's always stepping stones. And I look at Stan Lee and I see, man, I know there was a time when Marvel could barely pay its bills. There was a time when they were struggling. There was times when Stan Lee was going to call it quits. And over the years, things changed around. And when technology got better, Marvel came into the forefront of all the movies now. It's the biggest craze. But Marvel's been around forever, like decades, entertaining us all. Like I had my dad's comic books, my uncle's comic books growing up, reading them, stealing them if I could. And I remember one of the first comic books of my uncle. I'm just thinking about it now, and it was a Ghost Rider comic book. And you see Ghost Rider on the front of the cover, and he's riding around, and it's in the flames from his bike are in the shape of a skull. That's the first thing I saw, and I said it to my uncle, and he's like, "Oh, I never saw that before." It's just like you never know, like what comic books will show you. I was just a kid, wide-eyed and bush-tailed over what colorful images I'm going to see, what's going to happen next. It's all about the imagination. And Marvel's going to be around a long time. There's a ton of stories, a ton of stories. So it's going to be cool to see what happens in the next coming years. It's been cool to see all this come out and be really like to the live action's actually there. So, Stan Lee, you will definitely be missed. I know not just by myself, but a lot of my friends and millions of other people. And we're going to be enjoying your tales for a long time to come. I remember reading just before I go. I remember reading because he had a How to Draw Like Marvel book, which I was talking about on my other channel, and it was saying like how to make muscles look bigger on superheroes, and it's like little tips and things. And one of the things was to make the superhero's head smaller because obviously his body would get bigger. And there's all tons of things like that that I read because I was trying to draw like Marvel growing up, and very smart man who loved what he did because he still kept doing it even when it was barely paying his bills. So a true legend, and there'll never be another one like Stan Lee. Alrighty, with a heavy heart, I'm gonna go, but kind of gets me to thinking about what we can do to be our best. Because I know a lot of us get down and things, and you see a man who's gone through it all, literally, and it wasn't that long ago they lost the love of his life, and he still kept keeping on. So makes you think what you can do to enjoy your life more, to be your best, to be your best person, the best version of yourself. So perhaps with his passing, we all can dig a little deeper and start living a little more. Hope you all have a good night. Peace.